Well, welcome back to Team Coffee Hub. Hey, Steve, how's it going? What's going on with you?
Oh, just cranking along and yourself?
I have had four clients this week with the exact same problem. And as I've been going through like groups and stuff, I'm seeing the same thing over and over again. And I know you've seen it. I know you have a little saying around this.
The
I see
current
your face.
trend that we're seeing?
I see your face. I think you're getting it. And if you have not read this book, I absolutely recommend this book. It's a fantastic book. It's not a long read, but it is a huge perspective shift. And that is 3 Foot from Gold. You know the book I'm talking about, Steve.
It's
I've got
really
clients.
short.
It's short, but the thing is, I've been doing it. One of them, I've been doing this now for 2 weeks. Am I doing the right thing? I'm like, okay. So in the 2 weeks, we've clarified your offer. We've got your website and your social medias aligned with that offer. You've now started posting the offer. You've had 2 posts regarding your offer, and you're like wanting to change it now.
Yep.
No, 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 no. That's not how this goes. And it's so common. And I think it hits more small business owners in so many different ways
Oh, yeah.
that they don't realize it.
Yeah, because they're always pivoting, always pivoting, always pivoting, and they never see anything through.
Right.
Yeah, I've been seeing that trend a lot. I want to say this whole year. I'm working on this. I'm working on this. I'm working. Okay, I decided to change focus.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm guilty of the pivot. I am so guilty of the pivot. But you know my product. My
Yeah.
pivot that I've had in the last month and I've been planning it is a different way to portray the same product.
Right.
It's not changing products. It's like, oh, hang on, I've had an idea of a different way I can do about this. It's the same product, the same system, the same follow up, but it's a different angle of looking at it.
Well, that's
But to me,
called,
that's a pivot.
that's an adjustment.
Yes.
Whereas what we're seeing is they're going down a railroad track, and all of a sudden they're like, okay, let's cut the rails there and start a whole new railroad track.
Yeah. Like I'm going to work on YouTube is one, for example. YouTube. You know what? I really should just be focusing on Twitter.
Right.
Wait, what? Where did that come from?
Right. I've been seeing it with business owners. It's like they have a marketing plan. They start executing it. It hasn't even been all the way through, just one little step. Oh, I'm going to change this. Now they change everything and have to start from scratch. And then they wonder why they're not making any money, their business
Hmm.
isn't moving forward, and why they're tired.
So I think one of the most useful things we can talk about today is, like we said, what I just did was an adjustment. It wasn't a pivot. In my head, it's a pivot because it's a
Yeah,
huge shift in the marketing, but it's not taking away from any of my other marketing plans. It's a new addition
right.
to this pivot. How can people actually recognize the difference between a pivot and an adjustment?
And this is something I know we both work with people on is let's get down what's the target. Because if you don't know what the target and what your goals are, how are you going to get there? How do you even know when you get there? And I'm seeing that with a lot of business owners. They think that they have the target in mind and they say they're going that way, but why are they going
Yeah.
over here?
Uh, so one of my groups of clientele I work with are network marketers because I take them away from advertising the company that they are, they're a promoter for, to creating their own branding, their own system around it. Because it's a great affiliate program, but you can't be miss that company.
Right.
That's not how it works. And it's such a hard adjustment for them to make. And then when they finally make it and finally do the thing I get, well, I was on this company call and the company, it's the same with other small businesses. Well, my nephew just was talking to me and he said I need to.
Oh,
Well, my nephew, he's like 20 and he knows what is right now. And it's, oh, my kids told me I need to be doing this.
it's funny you mention that. I just met with a whole bunch of health practitioners,
Okay.
and all of them were on the exact same page. People come to them with a real physical or mental issue, solid.
Yeah.
But then they watch YouTube, TikTok, they listen to people, and they come with all this extra junk when these health practitioners said, all you need to do is change this one thing. So,
Mhm.
and I'm seeing that with business owners that are listening to all this and they're like, well, I got to stop doing what I'm doing and now do
Yeah,
this. And it's not the
yeah.
right thing for their business.
Well, let's take these GP1, whatever they are,
Oh, the
these shots.
GPL, yeah.
Yeah, that has now gone into this huge craze, but they're now actually coming out with saying they're showing some cardiovascular risks from it. And it's like, oh my goodness. But they've all jumped on the thing. And what they had originally was working, maybe a little slower than they wanted, but now they've probably damaged a lot of credibility for themselves.
And you're absolutely right because there wasn't enough data, so people just jumped on the bandwagon. Then they
Mm-hmm.
start finding, oh, there's this, and there's this, and there's this. And they got off of that to go on to other things and they didn't realize what it's doing. It's the same thing in business.
Yes.
It's do your research, have your focus, come up with your plan, execute. You will have to adjust. You may
Mm-hmm.
have to adjust,
Yep.
pivot. Maybe you find going down that path, it's not viable.
Yeah. But the thing is, you can't put something into action for 2 weeks, not see immediate results, and then decide to completely crash and burn.
Right.
And I got to say this, you said to have your target, have the target fully defined. What
Mhm.
I'm also finding, and again, this is me coming from a marketing perspective, and you're from the small business perspective, the behind the scenes. They have their target defined, but they don't have what that means for their target market defined. So they can say that this is the best thing since sliced bread,
Right.
but because they don't understand what the target market for this target product needs and how they need it to explain, they could have the best product in the world and
Mhm.
miss the mark.
Right.
So you've got to have your target defined, your target market defined, and how it affects your target market defined. If you have all of those three,
Mhm.
you'll be making adjustments, not pivots.
Exactly. And just like with the health practitioners, people come trying to solve the one thing, but they're bringing in more ailments that are
Mm-hmm,
unnecessary. Same in business. It's the squirrels, it's the distractions, it's listening to, other people getting you off your game and off your
mm-hmm,
goals.
yeah,
And we're seeing it time and time again. If they would just keep moving forward and executing their own plan, they would succeed, but they stopped the 3 feet from gold and said, I'm going to now do this.
yeah. I think one thing we have to actually explain is what is 3 feet from gold? Because we keep saying it, but we're not actually
Yeah,
saying what that is. And everyone's like going, what do you mean 3 feet from gold? I'm not digging for gold.
it's true. And I learned this from Brian Tracy when that was the first time I heard it. And he
Yes.
put it in a short story, and it was like, wait. And I still read the whole thing, the whole book, which is not that long.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't know. You want to go for it or you want me
Yeah.
to?
So I see this a lot, especially with small business, whether it be brick and mortar, online, service, or product. It doesn't matter. They have a great idea. They put it together, they start moving, and whether it be other people's voices telling me it's not going to work or them telling themselves it's not going to work, they stop running the business. And the thing is, you never know if that next client, that next post, that next ad, that next hire was the one that took you from being a little mom and pop into a multi-million company. Because if you talk to all these huge successful business owners, the ones that have either multiple branches, uh, multiple countries they serve, multiple this, multiple that, always one step. And if that didn't happen, then you get Richard Branson. There's a story about Richard Branson that always cracks me up. He tried so many businesses, like insane, and nothing was working. Everyone was telling me he was an idiot, he couldn't do it. And they were stuck because a flight got cancelled. So he didn't have a clue what he was doing, and he started to sell tickets on a private flight, got the money, went and booked the private flight, and got these people home. And that was how Virgin Airlines started. But he was like, if I hadn't have decided to take the jump and make that risk, I would have never found my entry into business world. But that's how he was always doing his businesses, trying to get people involved and then taking the jump. He was 3 steps from gold the whole time, and then he made it go off. Other people, Sarah Blakely with the Spanx, she was selling fax machines.
Yeah.
How many times did she tell herself this wasn't going to work? And then she finally told someone about it, and that one person put her in a department store. Boom, she took off. You never know where your step to gold is.
That's
And
it.
too many people stop just before it cracks open.
I recently had a multimillionaire on my podcast, and I said, "What was the key to your success when you first started?" He goes, "All I did was lock myself in a room for a week, figured out my target market, my marketing, how my sales approach, how I was going to fulfill everything." He goes, "I worked reverse engineered this whole thing. And then I came up with a plan, step one, and so on." He goes, "I executed everything, made adjustments along the way."
Mm-hmm.
He goes, "I didn't stop until I hit my target. There was
Yeah.
good days, bad days, setbacks, everything." He goes, "I knew this was going to work with all my heart." And he goes, and he even says this on the podcast, "I didn't stop 3 feet from gold. I went and
Yeah.
kept digging towards the gold that I knew was there." And
Yeah.
he says it paid off. He now owns 37 multi-million-dollar companies.
Again, it's this 3 feet from gold. So if you feel like you're giving up, feel like you're like, oh my gosh, this isn't working,
Yeah.
but you haven't had a good business plan. Because that's the other reason I find small business owners
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
win is they're just going with the flow.
Winging.
They're like, they're winging it. They don't have a plan. They don't have it thought out. They're like, well, this just one. When I first started in business, that's what I did. For like
Yeah.
the first year. And then I was like, no, I have to make this stable. Yeah. Or it's the voices.
Yes.
It's the voices. And it can be your voice, it can be someone else's voice. Oh my gosh, why don't you get a real job? Why are you doing this?
Told you it
Even
would work.
told you it wouldn't work. Oh my God, look at you failing. Do you think they're going to be saying that 6 months from now if you didn't stop and you hit gold?
Yeah.
They're going, oh, well, we always told you this was a great idea.
Yeah.
I've got people in my life that's done that. They told me, oh, me doing what I do was an idiot and why wouldn't I just get a real job? And now it's like, oh my gosh, she's the one that does this. Funny how the term changes.
Absolutely. I mean, I've had that same thing. My first business, I winged it.
Mm-hmm.
Second business, focused business plan, and well, was a huge success. So there was a
Yeah.
big difference, and I didn't realize because I was winging it, everything was going good, and I was in the luck of the flow, if you will.
Oh, yeah. The look
The
of the
luck
flow.
of
It's
the
a big
flow.
one.
So you riding the wave and you don't realize that you're riding a wave. Well,
Yes.
we see this with realtors a lot. That's a common industry that rides the
Influencers,
wave. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
speakers, authors.
Yeah. They ride a wave. And
Yeah.
then the wave crashes, and that's all they did. They didn't have a plan in case the wave crashed.
It's the one hit wonders.
And short-lived one hit wonders.
Wonders. Yeah. But we don't want you to stop 3 weeks and go,
No.
3 steps from go because you never know what you can achieve. So I think what I want everyone to do is we're going to ask you a question because we always ask a question in the podcast. But I want your commitment to not stop 3 foot from gold. And there is a huge difference between not stopping 3 foot from gold or being on the wrong track.
Mhm.
And you tend to need someone else's input to help you weigh up those pros and cons because you may not want to admit it. You're biased. You're biased about your own business.
I would say you always buy your own branded bullshit.
Yeah, always. Or
Always.
you always go too hard on your own brand.
Yeah. And
There's
you
no
actually
middle.
hold yourself back.
Yeah. So I think this is a good way to get into like the accountability, and then we're also going to do the get shit done
Yeah.
group as well. But have your commitment to not stop 3 steps from gold. Okay. And if you need an insight, you need another look on it, then let's talk. We can either find a way we can help you with either one of our programs or even recommend someone who may have some more expertise in your area. So you see, it's not just about us filling our classes, If we know someone else that's going to work for you better, we are going to hook you up with a contact email. That's just how we operate.
Right. And I got in one of those ruts and I actually joined a mastermind group. It was my first one at the time. And all of a sudden I was like, oh, all I had to do is make some adjustments, little teeny adjustments.
Yeah.
But if I didn't go to that mastermind group, I would have kept grinding towards what I thought was the right thing and nothing would have worked.
Yeah. So what questions do we ask him to comment on from 3 Foot from Gold, Steve?
Have you ever gone down the path of a goal? It could be a minor one, it could be a business, an entire business, and you just stopped it and started something else.
Yeah. And a lot of us have done that. I've done it.
Think of it like you're driving on the highway, doing whatever speed you want to do, but fast. And you decide you don't like that lane anymore. So you're thinking, I'm going to jump out of this car and hop into the next car. Well, the next car stopped. It's on the side of the road. Now you have to get into that one and start again. Yeah. You lost all your momentum, all that energy, all the time, probably resources too. And all you had to do was change a lane.
Yeah. And it can crash and burn, or changing a lane could stop you going into a work zone.
That's it.
But you have to do it as informed as possible to make sure it is correct. Don't just have this isn't working, I quit, I'm done. Oh my gosh, this is terrible. No, don't do that. Informed decisions.
Yeah, we've talked about on this podcast. We know people are always working on something and never have a plan, a goal. We can't even figure out what they do.
Too many.
Yeah, that's like, because you keep pivoting and you don't even have the original idea anymore. It's gone. It's so far in the past.
So there's an influencer that I actually enjoy listening to because she's got wealth, but from a family perspective, but she teaches a lot of the wealth secrets that some of the wealthier families get that a lot of middle and upper class don't get. And she actually said this on her name's Becca Bloom, TikTok influencer. She said, the difference between two people getting 500 and being successful, if you don't have any successful revenue streams right now, you focus on one and get that running. If you already have a bunch of them and you're already moving, that's when you can diversify. But if you are not to the point where you are ready to diversify, the mistake that most people make is they diversify way too soon, way too early, and have nothing to show for a lot of work when they could have just focused in and honed in on one thing.
That's it.
And I just thought, I said it perfectly.
Yeah, absolutely right. So we want to hear your unfortunate stories, if you will.
But you probably learned something from it.
Yeah, but what'd you come up with it? And how did it change it? And how did it make you move to the next thing or move forward?
Definitely. We'd love to hear that. And if you have questions about this 3 Foot from Gold, in the comments too.
Yeah.
We'd love to give our input. Well, I think that sums up this episode. And just stop quitting on yourself, everyone, because that's basically what you're doing.
Absolutely.
So next time, Steve?
Yep. Until next time.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you see someone doing this a lot in the podcast, they may need a little tough love. Bye. Thanks for joining us on the Tea and Coffee Hub podcast today. We hope you enjoyed today's conversation and it left you inspired, equipped, and ready to take your next step, whether that's in life, business, or maybe both.
And don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss future episodes, and connect with us online and in person. Share your thoughts in the comments section. Until next time,
keep sipping,
keep growing,
take action,
and stop making excuses.